along with a better idea or something like that. And unfortunately, yeah, listen, I was talking to my friend is Canadian, and we talk
Mhm.
politics a lot about how similar it is in Canada to the United States. And we were talking about this last night. Like he asked me, he goes, Mike, how do you feel to be the most hated country in the world? That's exactly what he asked me. Think
Mhm.
about that.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that.
Well, our financial policy has been the barrel of a gun. Of course,
Well, and
everyone's
that's
going
the
to hate us.
absolute truth. The last how many wars?
Yep.
14? I mean, it's all
Yep.
been for what?
Yep. Just to keep us where we're at. And it's only a matter of time before people get fed up, they get sick. And realistically, when you transition out of the world currency, usually it's because of stuff similar to this, because like if you can't keep your policy and your currency consistent, it screws everyone else up in the system. So like when we're experiencing inflation, we're going, geez, stuff's like up 50%. There were literally places during that time period at the peak of our inflation that stuff was going up thousands of percent an hour. Like if you
Yeah.
went and sat down and had a coffee, the next coffee you bought was like $8 more than the coffee that you sat down and had within that hour, because we were affecting the ripple effect from what we get inconvenienced. Everyone else gets wiped out.
The prime example, and I'll say this, everybody knows I'm in construction. Prime example,
Mm-hmm.
I used to be able, in 2007, 2009, whatever, be able to get a sheet of plywood for $15 to $30 variable. During COVID, it hit $99 for one sheet of plywood. A
Yep.
2x4 that cost $2.40 now raised to $7.80. And at one
Yep.
point during the height of COVID was at $14 a 2x4. That's outrageous.
Right. Right. And that's like noticeable, like very noticeable.
For a contractor, yes. And the worst
Yeah.
part is I only can have 10-day bids now. I can't
Yep.
say this board bid is good for 6 months. It's a 10-day bid because that's how drastically it changes within that course of time.
Oh,
Yeah.
we saw remodel jobs. One of the remodeling companies that we did some contract work with to do the automation part of their remodels, so they were doing whole home remodels, and she said she had to break it down into sections of the home because by the end of the job, the prices had fluctuated so much that like people were getting sticker shocked and upset because like she would start the project and they'd be like you were saying, the 2x4s doubling in price. Now, when we're framing off the last part of when she was framing off the last part of the house, they're just like, well, this last room is $5,000 more, and like you're out of your budget, so we need $5,000. And people were not happy, or we need $10,000 or whatever it was, because the stuff that they had picked, the selections they'd made, they hadn't paid for that phase yet, and they wanted to withhold funds. And now it's like, well, now that's not the price for this room anymore.
Well, you know what? I just had to do an entire breakdown for the house that we just bought. So, I mean, an
Yeah,
entire breakdown. Now, I do everything. So, I'm full scale. I do electrical, plumbing,
right.
HVAC, everything.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, so I do projects from start to finish in every phase. So long story short, I bought this house. Now, me as a contractor, I have to spend my time for free, even though it's my
Right.
project, but I still have to spend my time to break everything down. And I'm talking about I'm the contractor who just doesn't add 10%. I will literally add up every single fixture, every single line, every valve, every screw. That's how I am. I swear to God. So when I do my
He
bid,
said every valve.
listen, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a plastic tab. It gets added in there, and I literally count everything. And it will change dramatically. Like I just told the bank, okay, this is my projection. I said, but if things change in the market, obviously it's going to be higher if material or lower, depending on which way the
Yeah.
market goes.
Yeah.
And the banks do understand, but I also max out everything. Like all my material costs, and I hate to say this as a contractor, but when I do a bid, I max out everything at the highest dollar,
Yeah. You have to.
regardless if I'm
I
saving
mean,
money.
right, right. I mean, you have to. Like otherwise it gets really, I mean, I don't see how it could be, how you can do it any other way, to be honest, cuz like with in our company, like our stuff, like we're waiting for parts and prices are changing because like we're a technology company, so stuff's not getting built because of microchips. Still, like everything's open, but apparently nothing's still getting built. Like it's
Well, see, for me, dude, I explain this. Number one, I would say I'm the biggest Italian Jew there is because I'm the cheapest person you're ever going to meet in the world. So let's just get that straight. I am cheap.